You saw the headline. Former Speaker Nancy Pelosi has now announced her retirement this morning. That is a very important sign that I hope that you all will delve into. Even the famous San Francisco liberal is not far left enough for the neo-Marxists. We commend her for her services. We all do, everyone who serves in Congress, but there should be a lot written about that. Fourth point I just want to make.
So that's how they're going to spin it. They're going to spin it that Nancy Pelosi is having to retire because the Democrats have embraced the radical left lunatics, the communists, the Marxists, the Mamdanis of the world. That's going to be their new shtick. They're not really pointing out that she's in there, will have been in there for 39 years, I think it is. Right at 40 years is how long she's been in there. Her time is up. She's retiring. We thank her for her service. No one's going to forget what she did, but it's time for her to ride off into the sunset. And I personally wish that politicians would do it a lot younger, but I'm not here to bash or slam Nancy Pelosi today. What I want to talk about is the way that the right wing is suddenly going about this. And what we're seeing is this complete and total flip now. They're going to lean harder than they ever have into the paint of, we have embraced the communist and the Marxist. They always use these words. They love to throw these words around. They love to use them and use them as weapons. They can't define any of them. That's why that I keep the definitions of words on my desk so that when I say authoritarian, I can follow it up by saying that authoritarian is favoring strict obedience to authority, especially at the expense of personal freedom. And fascism is a governmental system led by a dictator having complete power, forcibly suppressing opposition and criticism, regimenting all industry and commerce, etc., and emphasizing an aggressive nationalism and often racism. So when we say that we're anti-fascism, we're anti all of that, and most Americans should be, but we have a group of people who loves to stand up for that kind of thing because Donald Trump has duped them. And he's absolutely shaking in his boots now because he realizes, wait a minute, this populist movement that I cashed in on is slipping away from me because I lost the plot. And when you see people like Marjorie Taylor Greene go, yeah, Mamdani ran a really brilliant campaign and he answered all the questions the right way, there's definitely, the tide is definitely turning. And when you see Marjorie Taylor Greene acting like this, folks, I still really don't know how to wrap my mind around the rebranding of Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't trust her. I wouldn't vote for her. Wouldn't encourage no one to vote for her. But this one kind of caught me off guard. This is weird. This is kind of like that moment when Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes teams up and you're going, wait, I didn't think they liked each other. But here's Marge praising Pelosi.
I will praise Nancy Pelosi. She had an incredible career for her party. I served under her speakership in my first term of Congress, and I'm very impressed at her ability to get things done. I wish we could get things done for our party like Nancy Pelosi was able to deliver for her party. So I wish her well in her retirement, but I would like to see people exit Washington a lot sooner rather than wait until their 80s.
Yeah, we are.
Now, I know what a lot of you are thinking. A lot of you are thinking, Brando, don't play clips of Marjorie Taylor Greene. Don't give her any credit. She's a terrible person. She's a terrible politician. We don't need her in office. I agree with you 100%. I also believe that you need to take things when you can get them and you need to use them to your advantage because trust me, she would, and that's what she's doing right now. You could make the argument that, well, she wanted to run for Senate and Donald Trump told her not to, and so she had to stay in Congress and she's pissed and so she's rebelling against her own party and she's looking ahead to save her own ass. But I really don't care how that it works. I just want the message to get across to people so that they will see that Donald Trump and the Republicans don't have their best interests at heart. So while I'm no fan of Marjorie Taylor Greene at all, I will saddle up beside her and let her talk all day long about the damage that this administration and Republicans are doing to this country. Because we need that message to resonate with people to get them to vote the opposite way and to vote this crap out. So that's one of the reasons why that I say, okay, listen, I know it's crazy. I don't like it. It feels weird. Kind of feels a little dirty, to be honest with you. But I'm going to saddle up next to anyone who is calling out this administration for the wrong that they're doing. But what we saw on election night was the Democrats come in and absolutely mop the floor. Leading up to that, Republicans were saying, oh, there's no way that'll happen. We're winners. The Democratic Party is done. I remember when the election was over in 2024, every influencer, the Charlie Kirks of the world, the Tim Pools, the Ben Shapiros, they were all making this claim that the Democratic Party was dead and that it was a dead brand. It was never going to come back, that it would never make it back. And here we are a year later with our side mopping the floor. But it wasn't the Democratic establishment side that mopped the floor. It was the populist idea. It was that Bernie Sanders message that we've been preaching and Bernie's been preaching before most of us were ever born. It's that message that we want to see a government that works for the people and we want to see people get a fair shake in this world. Love or hate Marjorie Taylor Greene, she has always talked about those issues. I think she's on the wrong side. I think she's backing the wrong party. I think maybe she's beginning to realize that she's backed the wrong party. But if we talk about affordability, we talk about the prices of food, if we talk about gas prices, if we talk about the economy, if we talk about people struggling and living paycheck to paycheck and keep driving the point home that we're sick and tired of seeing the absolute welfare queens like Elon Musk suck the tit of the federal government, if we drive those points home further, we win. And the Marjorie Taylor Greenes of the world realizes we're going to win. And that's why the Mike Johnsons of the world are hammering down now, and they're going to take Nancy Pelosi's retirement as a way to say, oh, she's being forced out. And have you ever noticed how that they always play that? They sat and bashed Joe Biden forever. They bashed him. They put him down. They said he was the worst human being ever. And they still love to circle back to that one every now and then. But then they tried to spin it like, oh, Pelosi and Schumer got in there, and man, they put him in the dang STF Cobra clutch, and they made him tap out and made him get out of the race. And even Donald Trump was going, oh, they made him step aside. They pushed him out. And now Mike Johnson's saying, well, the radical left, they've went so far, they've endorsed Mamdani, that Hakeem Jeffries comes in, and what'd he do? Waited till the last minute? But, oh, Hakeem Jeffries has embraced communism now. He's embraced Marxism. Oh, my God. And they're going to lean harder into that. And what I say to that is, let them. Go ahead. Call us communists, call us Marxists, call us whatever you want to call us. It ain't going to matter. Because people are going to look down at their pocketbooks. People are going to look over at their wallets. People are going to look at their bank accounts. People are going to look at their health insurance premiums. People are going to say, I can't make it in this world. And Donald Trump's too stupid to stop doing one thing. There's one thing he can't quit doing, and that's bragging about how rich he is. He will never stop with that, folks, because that's the way he was raised. He was raised that being rich makes you everything. It's all about being rich. When he talks about us succeeding, he talks about us all being rich, because that's the only thing of value that Donald Trump has. He loves to flex. He loves to brag. I think everyone would love a new ballroom. I don't know anyone in East Tennessee that needs one or wants one or is concerned about one, and it sure as hell ain't their main priority. They wouldn't be sitting back, I promise you. If Joe Biden was building a bathroom and building a ballroom and showing off pictures of a marble bathroom, oh my God. I mean, the people around here would have lost their mind. But they're sitting back right now, and they got this big steaming plate of crow in front of them. And they can't even afford it. So that's what they're up against. And I ain't sitting here trying to rub salt in the wound, although it is kind of hard to not just be a complete and total dick about the whole thing. It is. Because we saw it coming. We tried to warn them. We tried to let them know just how serious this moment was. And they couldn't stand it. They had to try to one-up us. They had to try to win a culture war. So here's what we do. We sat back and we let Donald Trump go ahead and punch himself out. This is that moment. And I know it's been hard. It's been a long 10 years. And by the time we're all done with this, I think sometimes, good Lord, he came in when I was 36 years old. He ain't going out till I'm going to be 48. It's like, holy crap. That much of my life I've had to deal with this dude, and we all deserve compensation after it's all over. But we're at the point in the Foreman Ali fight where we're just going to have to lay there on the ropes a little bit longer and let him punch himself out. He may try to circle back and talk about affordability, but he's not going to be able to keep himself from flexing. So he's going to brag about his ballroom, and when that ballroom gets done, he's going to show pictures of it. If it's done before he leaves, if he leaves, he's going to show pictures of the progress. He's going to flex in front of it. Oh, look at my golden shitter. Woo! And the more he does that, and the more we talk about the issues at hand, and the more we bring the receipts and talk about all the jobs lost, all the layoffs lost, all the premiums rising, people are going to eventually have to wake up and go, wait a minute, these culture wars don't do a damn thing for me. And they're going to quit looking at Nancy Pelosi as the biggest villain in the world and realize that they got played by the biggest villain in the world. So as far as Nancy Pelosi goes, I wish her the best in this world. I really do. I do want to see politicians stop a lot sooner. I don't like seeing people on either side of the aisle. I'm not a fan of seeing someone remain in politics till they're 90 years old. But I would take 90-year-old Bernie Sanders over anybody out there as long as they're preaching the message. And so we'll just keep on point with our messaging. We'll keep talking about the struggles, and Donald Trump will keep making it worse. And he'll keep bragging about how rich he is. And every time he does, I'm going to be here to remind people that culture war got you nowhere.